Here we go. Sharapova serving. First round. Ruano Pascual. Best career ranking was 28 in the world. That was 4 years ago, and it's been as high as number 2 in doubles. Now, unless my ears are deceiving me, have you heard a grunt yet?
I've not heard a grunt yet. Well, I watched her play a World Team Tennis match this summer in Sacramento, and she did not grunt there either.
So this grunting has come to a halt, has it?
Well, we'll see in about 20 minutes, won't we, once the match thickens up.
15 all. I must say, a lot of these tennis players, certainly all the Russians, very smartly dressed, immaculate on court. And there's the first ace of the match. 99 miles an hour. Swinging away from the forehand of Ruano Pascual. 40-15. Again, plenty of pace on that serve, 96 miles an hour. And Joel, an impressive, solid start from the Russian.
Well, she told me this summer when I talked with her, she likes to compete. She enjoys being on the court, and she particularly enjoys competing and trying to beat people. And even when she practices, she likes to play games when she practices, even more than drills. So she really has a hunger for competition.
At 16 years old, do you think that would be the case anyway?
Well, that's true. That's all upside for her now, isn't it?
Ruano Pascual beaten in round 1 here last year. Power and direction there from the Russian.
And she has on both sides. She particularly has a big crack at that forehand. She usually takes a good-sized swing at the ball.
Ruano Pascual, 2 women's tour events that she's won in her career that started way back in 92.
Sharapova was turned 5 years old that year.
She's probably playing with a tennis ball in the
Well,
in the
actually,
cradle.
that's just about right, given how early Sharapova, she said she started playing when she was 4. Born in Siberia.
Sharapova, coached by her father, and also Robert Lansdorp.
Robert Lansdorp, the very prominent instructor coach who's worked with 3 world #1 players, Tracy Austin, Lindsay Davenport, and Pete Sampras.
Not bad pedigree, that. The grunt is beginning.
The grunt is beginning, and you see a little bit of her odd immaturity on that point. There's good chances to come to net and close out the point sooner, and Sharapova elected to retreat.
Ruano Pascual, obviously her doubles partner. Those of you who don't know, Paula Suarez, terrific doubles pair. Won 16 doubles titles between them. So Suarez and Pascual, who've done well over the last year or two. If Ruano Pascual comes to the net, don't be surprised if she puts away some sharp volleys.
When the opponent hits a return like that, it feels like the court is a hill. She's not going to get up there.
One love to Sharapova. Deuce in this game. Oh, there's plenty of firepower from the Russian here.
Already pumping herself up in the second game of the match. A lot of energy to burn, doesn't she?
The left fist usually, isn't it?
The fist that they don't, the non-racket fist.
Nicely put. Couldn't have done it better myself. Superb winner.
Well, there's a fist with a racket, the racket fist. So she's double fisted. That's right. Oh, there we go. There's the left fist, the pumpette. It's more of a mini pump than a full Connors.
Well, Sharapova says, hey, that was long. Alison Long says no. The umpire does not overrule. So we're into another deuce. doesn't hold back. And this is building pressure on the Spaniard. Struggling here just to hold the opening game for her. Remember, Sharapova already won her serve. There it is, 1-1. But it took about 8 minutes to do it. And you wonder how Ruano Pascual is going to keep this young lady under control. Being so tall at 6 foot, 183, gives us such a huge advantage on the serve. That was 104 miles an hour, that serve, even though it was just out. And the serve she's just produced was the fastest, 108. That's 174 kilometers power, and that is a big advantage, isn't it, Joel, that she's so tall?
Oh, she's tall, she's got confidence, she has height, she knows she can really get leverage on the ball, and she has a whippy quality to her body. I mean, it's a long-limbed body. It doesn't seem tight or stiff.
She's quick. If you take a comparison, say Lindsay Davenport, who's the same height, who's much slower.
Another Robert Lansdorf student, exactly. There's a cat-like quality to Sharapova, or more of a panther.
So second double. 1-1, 15-all. Reached the final last year of the Australian Junior Championship.
See that ace? Well, looked out on our shot spot.
That
Wow.
one's in.
No doubt on that one.
Well, take that. Virginia Ruano Pascual received the wrong end of some terrific shots. My word, that was a marvelous shot.
See a little bit where the doubles paid off on that. She's obviously used to taking service returns early.
And she did it well, Joel. 40-30. The lights are on, you can see now. Gets stronger as the evening goes on. Just out. 2-1 to Sharapova. All on serve. Opening set. Just below us, about to serve. Just waiting for the crowd to just settle down a little bit. Quite a few people having had their tea and biscuits and sandwiches and hot dogs here, of course. And hamburgers.
Well,
just
David,
coming
I
back
think
in.
you're a little too used to that tournament across the ponds with the tea time.
It's true, it slipped out, the tea, just the coffee and the hamburger.
The hot dog and the Coke.
Hot dog and the Coke is this. Just the depth of shot there from Sharapova.
Such good depth, gets Ruano Pascual off balance. once again, the strong depth from Sharapova. Ruano Pascual not able to make any impression in.
Love 30.
Very well played point from Sharapova.
I'm impressed. She gets into position very quickly. She spots the ball coming from her opponent in a blink of an eye, and she's already in position. Doesn't wait till it's coming over the net to prepare herself, and therefore she's got loads of time to hit the ball. Well, she had 3 break points, back to 2 for a 3-1 lead in this first set. One more to save for the Spaniard.
Well played by Ruano Pascual. Very crafty, keeping the ball low, not giving her Sharapova much pace. Tough way to make a living in singles playing that way, but here she is, having fought off 3 break points.
Well, good defense there from Ruano Pascual, but the angles that was delivered by the Russian, perfectly executed. 4th break point now.
A coach once told me you want to rob the opponent of time. 2 ways you do that. You hit the ball hard or you hit it early. If you do both, you're really good.
Good pace, good depth. But again, it's the second game she's serving, and she's really struggling to hold her serve here. 20 minutes, and we haven't completed 4 games yet.
A little frustration from Sharapova on that point.
Juice for the third time. Ruano Pascual having to work so hard just to hold her serve. Oh, what a beautiful winner. Took it just a little bit earlier. Enjoyed the pace of her opponent, and my goodness, did she put it away.
She just jumped all over that ball. Short down the line, could have gone down the line or cross court. She just leaned on it and crunched it.
Thrashed it. Another big point. Juice number 4. Just looking at the lead up to this championship. Sharapova, Wimbledon of course, the last 16, beating Ashley Hartler-Rode of the United States, Elena Bovina of Russia, and Yelena Dokic, losing to Svetlana Kuznetsova, Russian rival. Is she going to do it this time? Then Sharapova, she's got a break point here again, of course. In Los Angeles, beats Srebotnik, beat Petrova from Russia, and lost to Kim Clijsters, but took a set off her before losing in the first round in Toronto to Likhovtseva, another Russian.
Likhovtseva, the dean of the Russians, 28 years old and still on the tour, but cagey player.
Juice number 5. As for Ruano Pascual from Wimbledon, where she lost in the first round to Mary Serna of Spain, lost to Kim Clijsters, taking just 2 games in San Diego in round 2, reached the 3rd round in Los Angeles, and in Canada lost in the 2nd round to Nadia Petrova. And where's she from? From Russia. One, two, Juice again. And you can really see Ruano Pascual is really struggling here, not just physically but mentally. She's being worn down, and she's like someone hanging onto the edge of the cliff and trying to stay in touch with the world, and you just feel this sort of real genuine pressure she's going to go, certainly in this game. Another break point. If not anything else, her arm's going to fall off for so many serves.
There have been a lot of serves.
Nicely played though by the Spaniard, who is still hanging on, refuses to concede this game, as she did the very first game. 26 minutes have gone and we have not completed 4 games, and Sharapova so close. She's had 8 break points in 2 games, still to take the first one. All credit to the Spaniard just below us. Sweeping forehand again, Joe. It's quite sharp, isn't it?
Well, here we are again. 9th break point of the match for Sharapova.
And you had two service games. That's it. Finally, on the 9th break point in 2 games, Sharapova breaks through 3-1. Hopefully it's not a dam beginning to give away here, but the amount of punishment Ruano Pascual has taken, and she's literally taken it on the chin, hasn't she? Well, metaphorically, I better say.
Metaphorically, well, Nick Bollettieri, who worked with Sharapova from age 7 to 10, told me recently, said, Maria may seem nice and friendly off the court, but on the court, she'll cut your throat. Reminds her a lot of the young Monica Seles.
And the grunt now is at full throttle.
Are you sure?
Well, I don't know. You probably know more about this.
I think she's. I think
still there's a bit less to come.
I think it's about a 6 or 7.
A bit more to come. Okay.
At Wimbledon, it was about a 9 every day.
Oh. I could hear it from my box, and there was a big glass panel in front of me.
Well, you work behind the glass panel usually, right? That's important for you. About a 9 on that one on the gruntometer?
It's getting bigger, and it was 101 miles per hour serves. You're coming into the Venus and Serena Williams range here of serving, and I cannot give a greater compliment than that, certainly on the serve. And 163 to 174 miles an hour, kilometers per hour. And you just wonder whether the dam is bursting here as Ruano Pascual has delivered a terrific defense. But you can't hold back the tide. It's got the line.
Oh, that's impressive.
Three 1, 40-15, and Ruano Pascual though is still standing.
Yes. 33.
That's a great shot.
Well done.
That is a good shot, which I'm sure she uses in doubles when her opponents are both up at the net. It felt very comfortable, I'm sure, for her.
Well, she has a lot of those, what we call the special shots. You see, she can hit the slice backhand, she has a topspin lob. And the personification of the crafty player. And there was an example of it again. She hit the old draw the opponent to net play. Didn't really do much with that return, so Sharapova, it wasn't too deep and made her come in.
Got to remember, there's a huge age difference here. Ruano Pascual will be, what, 30 in, well, next month actually, about 3 or 4 weeks' time. So it's almost a 14-year difference. And the speed of a 16-year-old is certainly going to be quicker than a 29 to 30-year-old. Who has got the experience, of course, but can't stop youth.
No, you can't. And Ruano Pascual's experience, again, it's moderate experience. I mean, this isn't the experience of playing, let's say, a Lindsay Davenport or a Jennifer Capriati.
Absolutely. 3-1, this for 4-1. There it is, 4-1 to Sharapova of Russia, and deservedly so. Both ends of the court. Crowd is not quite ready. They are now. Sheer pace, isn't it? Sheer pace and depth. There's not much you can do.
We got Sharapova with a chance to take full control of this set. 1-4, love 30. The fingers on the cliff metaphor is quite apt here.
Oh, it's gone in, clipping the line. And you just wonder whether this match is as certain as the planet Mars, which is going to come very close to Earth, to 60 million miles away in a few hours from now. That is certain. I wonder how certain this is for Sharapova. Well, a couple of break points here for a 5-1 lead. The amount of energy Ruano Pascual has had to deliver just to stay in the match.
So we don't have Venus, but we have Mars.
Very good. Yeah, no Venus here this year. Mars will come close tomorrow morning.
Edging closer.
Maybe they'll name a planet called Maria.
Well, I think Ruano Pascual is singing that very song. How do you solve a problem called Maria? From West Side Story.
Just out. There's another break, a double break. Sharapova now beginning to push on, 5-1. Just wonder what the Spaniard can do here to halt this wave upon wave of attacks here from, as you say, John, from both flanks.
I would think if the opponent's serving at 5-1, if you have a chance to take a look at some second serves, maybe just come to net, try some offbeat spins and paces, just something to get your toe in this match. I think we've used just about every metaphor: toes, fingers, tides.
I just wonder, Joel, in comparison of hitting power, how she compares with Venus and Serena.
That would be interesting to see.
I think it's going to be pretty close, surely.
It will be pretty close on the heat department. I wonder if I think in the court speed department, they're both faster than her, and that would make it harder for her to hit as hard and to cover as much court.
But she's still got a lot of growing to do, only 16, and
she looks
the
like
power
a
will come.
baby giraffe a little bit.
I don't know whether giraffes grunt like that, do they?
I do not think so.
No. Sounds a bit of a jungle sound.
It's definitely deep from the jungle.
Well, here is a little chance for Ruano Pascual. 15-30. Sharapova. 3 double faults in the match. And Ruano might just be able to pull one back here. Pull one break back. Well, it was there for the taking. It was a great second serve. Plumb on the line. And she set it up beautifully. And now there's 2 break chances here.
Well, look who's doing all the dictating. Look at these numbers.
A chance for Ruano Pascual to make it 5-2. You can see the rough edges. By no means the complete player. That will take a good few years yet. But my word, she's a bundle of potential.
She sure is, boy.
And already delivering.
Well, you just see the appetite she has for being out there. She just likes being out there. Look at that.
Well, nice.
Look at that. That serve, 105 miles an hour, 169 kilometers.
And the best 174 kilometers. So she's pulled both those break points back. Juice within 2 points of this long opening set. Now it's set point after 40 minutes of play.
Second serve. Deuce.
4th double. Yeah, annoyed with herself. She did have just a little time, certainly, to get the ball over. It's a second set.
Ruano Pascual seems so fearful of that grunt and some of those big shots that she's a little reluctant to come to net. I think she ought to try that a few times.
Oh, she didn't see that ball early and didn't move her feet. Paid the penalty. 5-1, Juice. Well, she read it, but it was too deep, had too much power. Sharapova has another set point, the third one. Bit of a breeze blowing up on the court, which I think everyone will be pleased about.
Good tenacity from Ruano Pascual.
Sharapova just finding it just a little difficult to close this out, but Ruano Pascual, if she's just given half a chance, will hang in there.
It's a good serve.
Another set point. Surely she's going to close it now. One big serve. Crawls halfway up the net. Now she's taking the time.
Just again.
Wide. What does she had now? 5, 4, 4 set points. Well, it's another one anyway, and that was much better.
I think she'll get better results if she goes to the forehand of Ruano Pascual. I think the backhand is a slippery slice shot that she can do a few things with, make things difficult. The forehand looks like a little less of a put together take back, so backswing. So let's see what she does here. She's an ace her anyway.
Fourth ace, 6-1 Sharapova. Took 45 minutes, and deservedly she is ahead. It's the start of the second set here between Maria Sharapova of Russia against Virginia Ruano Pascual. If you're just joining us, it's this young lady, the 16-year-old, who's just taken the first set 6-1. I'm Dave Luddy, with me is Joel Drucker, watching an intriguing battle at 7 o'clock at night here in New York, where it's hazy. It has been a little humid, but there is a wind blowing up. The lights are on, and you've got the youth of the 16-year-old against the veteran, the 29-year-old Virginia Ruano Pascual, who is number 2 in the world in doubles.
It's the first US Open match Maria Sharapova's ever played, and I think she's going to play dozens more in the years to come. So this is fun for us to see someone make her debut on such a big stage.
And this tournament completes a Grand Slam in her very first year. Round 1 of the Australian, round 1 of the French, but reached the 4th round at Wimbledon. And here, she's on course at the moment for a second round place.
Well, and the progress a young player makes at this phase in their career, they're just growing by leaps and bounds as a teenager. I mean, she's probably going to say, I'm a completely different player than I was in Australia.
Normally we say that after 2 or 3 years. For her, it's just a few months. It's amazing how youth can improve so quickly, and when you get a little bit older, it takes such a longer time. Really stretching Ruano Pascual, racing to love 40 on her opponent's serve in this opening game of the second set. She's got a vice-like grip on this match at the moment.
To look at Sharapova analytically, I think what I see is that she doesn't move quite as well running out to her forehand as she does to her backhand. A little bit of a clopper, galumper on that side, not the efficient movement of, say, an Andre Agassi. There's another good example of it. She just kind of stepped to hit it rather than move to it. Not as reacting, not as sharp as she does to balls that are a little bit more towards the middle of the court.
There it is, there's the break right at the start of the second set. That sets the agenda for this set. And you just wonder, Joel, what can the Spaniard do?
Well, what she's got to do is take some chances. I mean, she's got at this stage, when you're down 6-1 in a break, you've got to be thinking, all right, we've got to just throw out everything. We've got to bring out the whole goodie bag. We're not, a player's tempted as well, I've just got to play my game. Well, what is her game? There hasn't been a game that she's played. There's just been a court she's been on, and she's just been pummeled throughout it. So she's got to try some things. I think she's got to maybe hit some high balls down the middle, try some drop shots, come to net, just make Sharapova prove that she's got a lot of
some moon balls, maybe?
Maybe some moon balls.
High in the air?
Sure, just a few different things. It's a little bit, to use another thing from Alan Fox's psychology. He said, don't let them get off easy. Don't let them get away when just because someone's beating you doesn't mean you have to let them beat you completely, even if they're better than you. Look for ways, try different things, throw out some tactics rather than just meagerly go down playing what you think is your game. You never know what you might find. Maybe she doesn't like high balls. Again, you see there on that point, Sharapova moved to that backhand. She's a little more efficient and concise with her footwork, getting to that side. And boy, then when she leans on the ball, that is one hard shot.
Good shot. Come on, she says. Pleased with herself there. 30-15. Looking for a 2-love lead. Underline that break.
With a pink shoe, she looks a little bit like a petit four or a pastry.
40-15. Just wonder whether you find a similarity between her and Daniela Khantukhova.
Very good comparison. Let's talk about that a bit.
Oh, wonderful ace. 5th. So take a 2-love lead in this second set, having taken the first 6-1.
there are a lot of similarities between those two. I think Hantuchova is a better instructed ball striker. There's such an elegant simplicity to her striking, a little bit more jingle-jangle quality to Sharapova, but Sharapova seems a little bit more of a hunger and an appetite. But then we were saying that a year ago about Daniil Hantuchova, and she's gotten a little off the boil in the past year. A lot of issues related to her self-image and her body and her eating habits, but there is a similarity between them.
You feel if they played today, it'd be quite a match.
It would be quite a match because you've got one player who's 16 and feeling very much in the ascent, and the other player who's 20 and feeling a little bit beside herself this year. I still feel great things will wait Hantuchova. Sharapova has more, I think, has more pure firepower, and Hantuchova has a little bit more subdued artistry to her. Finesse in some ways, but also just a little more efficiency, a little bit more in that way Miloslav Machir played.
Oh, it's another good shot, tipping the line.
There's nothing really subtle about Sharapova's game, whereas I think Hantuchova has such a compact, pruned set of strokes, so straightforward.
I just wonder when you're 16, it's all raw, isn't it? And you acquire the subtlety as you get older, as one does in life.
Speak for yourself.
Well, I'll take it as a compliment. It's 40-15 to Sharapova. 2 break points on the Ruano Pascual serve, which will give her a double break and a 3-love lead in this second set. Just a little loose. Nevertheless, she's had 18 winners to Ruano Pascual's 3, who still has to save a break point here at 30-40. And she does save it. Again, there's been 17 breakpoint chances, Joel, and Sharapova's just taken 3 out of 17. That's quite a lot.
That is.
It's quite a little, whichever way you look at it. It's juice.
Now when it comes number 18, and I think all these vanished break points speaks a little bit to the carefreeness of youth, or the casualness of youth.
Ruano Pascual there was certainly varying the spin, slice and top spin, and didn't have too much effect. There it is, 3-love, 6-1, 3-love. The Russian leads. Maria Sharapova is a set up, 6-1 and 3-love up, and serving. Oh, she's so quick that she ran round to get it on her forehand.
Getting back to Ruano Pascual in her career, she's played 10 US Opens, but she's lost in the first round 6 times here. So she's had these kind of Mondays and Tuesdays. And I think maybe there's a pragmatism that enters into the minds of a player as well. Let's see how things go. I'll give it a go. I'll try. Maybe I'll beat someone. Maybe I won't. I'll compete.
Pick up the prize money?
Pick up some prize money, which is good money. I'll move on to another tournament. And I'm still in the doubles. It is a good question, though, to think about how the mindset. We spent so much of our time talking about the energy and the mindset of the champions, of the contenders, and how they're preparing and how they're playing and what they're doing. But we don't think about that, about the people who are 98% of the players that those people are.
Much more interesting. They taste defeat week in, week out.
That's right. They say history is written by the winners, but it's as much written by the losers, and the losers are great players.
Well, I think the dam is crumbling here. The castle wall is beginning to fall down, and the tide is coming in.
She's got the boots on. She's wading through with the moat has collapsed.
It was all summed up in the first 4 games, and Ruano Pascual grimly held on to her opening service game, but after that just again lost out her second service game, and since then it's been really tough. And here it is at 40 love to Sharapova, who's going to take a 4-love lead here despite that double fault. I hope I don't live to regret my words. And it's a 5th double, but you just never know in tennis, and she's young, and you know, 2 or 3 bad shots and all of a sudden Ruano Pascual's confidence rises and she'll get upset with herself. And
well, the scoring of tennis is so delightful that way, isn't it?
One moment, one aberration, and you could lose it. Not over till it's over, but it's over in this game. 4-love. It's the Russian.
Sharapova just fired that ball back to the ball with utter contempt.
20 clear winners.
Well, let's see. This is where she's standing to return serve. Look at that. That second serve. That's she's standing very far back.
Long way back, isn't it?
See
how
again.
fast
That's a bad tactic. But I think she should take some on the second serve. She should stand in a little more, show her some different looks.
Well, there's only 8 places between the two in the world ranking list. Sharapova 54, Ruano Pascual 62. At one stage she was ranked, what, 28 or so in the world.
But as we say as they say in the American music industry, Sharapova ranked that with a bullet. She's in the ascent.
She's going to rocket through to the top 20, that's for sure.
That's about right, David. I'd agree with you about that. A player like her, with the event she's played, with so few events, and she's just going to gain points after points. Then, when she gets to the top 20, let's say, then we start to see...
Into a second year.
Into her second year, players start to know how to play you.
You can always do well in the first year if you're good, but then everyone starts to know how to combat your game. But she's going to improve a lot. Oh, that's a great shot.
You go from being the hunter to the hunted, to use the Martina Hingis phrase from several years ago, and that's a different thing when people are gunning after you. Now, they don't know you.
Well, it's been nearly an hour or so since Virginia Ruano Pascual won a game, and she's got 3 chances here to pull a game back. Not that one. Lights full on now, and they're shining on the Russian at the moment, who leads 6-1 and 4-love. Ruano Pascual here 40-15 up on her serve.
What was that approach shot? Where did that come from? We talked about approaching. We didn't talk about approaching that poorly. That was just a wing and a prayer. Look at that.
10-0 backhand winners. Well, there it is. Took an hour for her to win a second game with a 97 miles per hour serve, and it's 4-1 to Sharapova, and also a set-up.
Should that match occur, that would be a wonderful match.
Against Alexandra Stevenson, 31st seed, who has won. corker. You almost feel it's like a scream of delight. You know, when the baby in the cradle doesn't grunt but squeals with pleasure. It's a squeal more than a grunt, isn't it?
It is
Or
more
it
of a
varies.
squeal. It is more of a squeal.
Or has it gone from a grunt to a squeal in 6 months? That's a squeal.
It definitely feels more like a
Different to
squeal.
when you first heard it?
So should we call it the squealometer?
Yeah. Squeal of delight. It's like a car revving up, really. Just can't get it into first gear. Apart from the squeal, she is a delight on the court. She's produced some wonderful shots in this match. A repertoire of forehand and backhand winners. 17 of them and a total of 23 winners overall.
Again, just thoroughly dominating the match.
Ruano Pascual must be thinking, I've done everything I'm capable of doing.
I wonder if she's thinking that. That's what I always wonder when I see players. I mean, if the player really thinks that, or if the player's just feeling narrowly confined. Because it takes a little more courage to try some things that you don't do as frequently.
Are you saying that she's thinking, I'd like to be back in the dressing room now? Some players do that.
Perhaps she is. She's probably thinking, well, I pretty much have done a few of the things I think I do well. But, for example, I haven't seen her serve and volley 1 point. I mean, I'm not saying she's Yana Novotná or Martina Navratilova as a serve volleyer, but why not try that tactic? Why not try it? I mean, the purpose of tactics is to plant doubt in your opponent's mind and put them on alert that something else might be going on out there. But if you don't do those things, the opponent starts to feel very comfortable. Sharapova is looking very comfortable.
11th backhand winner. And a point for 5-1. Again, just finding a little difficulty to not quite close out the set here because it's 4-1, but just expect her to roll over her opponent when it comes to these crunch points, and she doesn't quite pull it off. That is a wonderful control. So difficult. Down the line, she was square to the net, over the highest part of the net. That was wonderful control.
Rolled it up the line. That's
good hands, good wrist.
I wonder if she even knew she was hitting it that way.
That was just natural. She didn't even think about that. Here's a point for 5-1. There it is. 5-1 and a set up. And Ruano Pascual will be serving to save the match.
tremendous sense of urgency with which Sharapova plays. I mean, I don't know if you want to be pumping your fist in between every point, but the concentration she brings and the intensity and the energy, and it's very refreshing. It's enjoyable.
The fresh bloom of youth, eh? Just a sustained, non-stop onslaught. Both wings. Great control. 15-30 on the Pascual serve. Within 2 points of victory is Sharapova. Again, the breeze just blowing through the Louis Armstrong Stadium. Just a light breeze, cooling everyone down. Two match points for the Russian. An hour and 12 minutes have gone. And Maria Sharapova, the 16-year-old, fourth round at Wimbledon, has a double match point against the Spaniard Virginia Ruano Pascual. There it is. Turns to her coach, her dad, and she's won it. Her very first match at the US Open, a thoroughly deserved win. Too much power, too much pace on her drives and on her serve, and she wins 6-1, 6-1 against Virginia Ruano Pascual. Thoroughly deserved, Joe.
You saw it here, the debut of someone who I believe will be a star. She will be a star. She has determination, she has weapons, she has appreciation, she likes being on the court, and she's a hard worker. So this is definitely the first of someone who we're going to be seeing for many years to come.